Hello everyone. In the last 2 years I've had two very startling yet horrific dreams that gripped me with fear in the dream, but also once I'd woken up. And I really believe the Lord had shown me these dreams for two particular reasons. Number one, to show us the inevitable direction in which the world is going, but more so number two, to serve as a warning to the body of Christ and also an opportunity for us to partner with God in obedience to His word, to see the direction which the world is heading slow down and to see as many people come to Christ as possible. In dream number one, I was in the city of Birmingham watching from a third person perspective, and I saw a lawlessness and a wickedness breaking out amongst the youth like never before. It was total chaos and disorder. In dream number two, I saw martial law being implemented. I saw soldiers walking the ground with weapons fighting against civilians and civilians fighting back. I remember as I drove past this scene heading to somewhere else, I saw another group of young people, but also one thing that was really obvious, and once again it was the same thing of lawlessness and rebellion and a boldness in wickedness like never before. And I woke up from these dreams completely horrified and shocked by what I saw, but these thoughts came to me very shortly after. The church is not ready for what's about to come upon the world. So what can we do in response? How can we slow down the direction? One, and I'm not being patronizing when I'm saying this, but to take our faith with Christ seriously. I'm not just talking about church attendance or reading the Bible or praying, and yes, we need to do this and we need to do this all the more, but I'm talking about obeying God and His word and doing what He's called us to do, which leads to number two. We must preach the gospel. The gospel is the power of God unto salvation. The gospel is the only thing that turns the wicked to being righteous, from children of the devil to children of God. Thirdly, we must make disciples. This is something we must be intentional about. Jesus said, go make disciples. He said, teach them to obey everything I've commanded you. You cannot afford to be sitting on the sidelines anymore, or just attending church but not really preaching the gospel or making disciples. I believe the statistics are that 96% of Christians do not share their faith, and no wonder why we have the world in which we do, because the majority of Christians are not sharing their faith. And because we're not sharing our faith and making disciples of the light, Satan and his demons are making disciples of darkness, and they're doing it very boldly and persistently. And I believe in that if you will take up the call to take your faith seriously, you'll walk with God seriously, that you will preach the gospel at every given opportunity, that you will make disciples and lead people in righteousness.